Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show. Hello if you're new, so today's video is going to be a review of the main event which just dropped on Netflix. So a quick summary of the film. It's about an 11-year-old boy called Leo who is a big fan of WWE and by chance stumbles across this magical mask that gives him these magical powers and he uses them to enter a WWE competition. Obviously he's a big fan of WWE, but there are other incentives that come into play in terms of him entering this competition, which you'll see when you watch the film. A lot of people might be wondering what kind of tone this film is. It is it is a kind of kiddie film, and I think it is a kiddie centered film. I think adults can watch it, but I think it's more of, if you're an adult watching this, you'd be watching it with your children or your younger relatives. I think as an adult you can enjoy it, but you'll only be able to enjoy it to a certain extent. In terms of the narrative, it's a simple, fun narrative. It is a bit predictable, but you still enjoy it anyway. I think particularly young fans of WWE are probably going to enjoy it. Your wrestling are going to enjoy it more. There is a little bit of comedy in there. It's very upbeat. There is a lot of comedy in there. Obviously we've got Tichina Arnold. She's quite a funny character. She's cracking a lot of jokes. But what I feel like is quite interesting, especially with like Netflixy shows, what I'm seeing more and more in films is like people making fun of social influencers and stuff like that, and they've kind of got like a running joke going on there, and I think that is slightly becoming the new trope that people make fun of in films. What I found really funny was that Leo kind of got the Hannah Montana edit, because there's elements of him trying to keep his alter ego of him being in a mask secret, but then in the mask you can still kind of tell that it's him. He's wearing the same shoes that he's wearing in his normal life, and yet nobody seems to be clocking him. There's a lot of Hannah Montana stuff going on in the film, which I found quite funny. I guess focusing more on the characters, I think Tichina Arnold definitely was great in it. She did what she had to do. She made the most of the material. She's a really funny character, and I think she was probably the standout performance. She was probably the highlight of the film for me. Leo, played by Seth Carr, did a great job. His friends did a great job. Overall, the cast was solid. There was also some cameos from some of the WWE stars. So we had The Miz in there, we had Kofi Kingston, we had Sheamus. The Miz played more of a bigger role, and Sheamus and Kofi Kingston were more of cameo roles. That was a nice touch to the film. I'm not sure if WWE were heavily involved in this film, but I'm assuming that they were, because I'm assuming they had to clear everything WWE based because it's all copyrighted. And of course I feel like this film definitely does good promo for WWE. And yeah, I guess for a cast of a considerable amount of kids, I think the kids did a decent job for kids anyway. In terms of the production, one thing to note down would be like the effects and stuff. Of course there was a lot of effects going on. There was a lot of CGI, green screen going on. That was very evident. I think they did a decent job with it. It did look fake, but it didn't look ridiculously fake. Same with the stunt. The fakeness of it, you could kind of get away with it. Some of the choreography definitely could have been a bit tighter, especially the ones with Leo in it. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the film. I kind of knew what it was going to be, and it met my standards. In terms of the length of the film, it is quite a longer film. It's like an hour and 40 minutes, but I think the way that it's paced out well. It doesn't feel too long watching it. But like I said, I think this definitely is a kiddie film. Even though I enjoyed it, I think kids will definitely enjoy it more. So I think overall, taking everything into account, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's a very strong 2.5. Almost a 3, but not quite. I definitely recommend watching this film if you're watching it with your child or a younger relative, or if you just want something upbeat and unserious to watch, I'd recommend this. But yeah, for those of you who haven't watched it, let me know if this is something you were wanting to check out. And if you have watched it, let me know what you thought of it, and let me know what you'd rate it out of 5. As always, let me know what you thought of my review. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, don't forget to put that notification bell on so you'll know when the next review is dropping. I've got quite a few reviews dropping today. There's quite a lot on Netflix today. Till next time guys, bye!